Did you know you could shoot the street lamps to kill hunters in Resident Evil 3? We'll go over this and more shootable objects you may have forgotten about and examine the possibilities of their return in Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Stars.
Shooting environmental objects as weapons is very common in Resident Evil titles. From the red barrels in Resident Evil 4 to the red barrels in Resident Evil 5 to the red barrels in Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil is no stranger to letting the player use the environment to their advantage. But did you know that this mechanic was not in every Resident Evil game? While there is one minor thing in RE2, the mechanic wasn't truly introduced into the series until the third game, Resident Evil 3. In RE3, there were a variety of different items to shoot, and it was so common that the game even added a second auto-aim button so players could auto-aim at the enemy or at helpful objects that are powerful, especially against living things. Most players are familiar with this mechanic through the classic red barrels. Heck, even a paralyzed Mikhail somehow takes a walk outside to take advantage of this video game staple. But RE3 went above and beyond, with some other experimental items outside of the barrel category. There were the explosive wall charges, essential to Carlos's battle against hunters in the hospital, and even Jill could use these from time to temporarily take down the Nemesis. Steam valves were particularly helpful when Jill is being ambushed by a horde of zombies in the pharmacy, and the steam produced helps slow down the Aquacure-induced attack. Later, Jill can lock onto more valves, these ones releasing to knock Nemesis into a deadly acid, eyes first.
Like I'm a squeezy.
And then there are the two lesser known ones. First, you can take out the brain suckers with these pallets of wood hanging from the ceiling by the elevator. And later, you can take out some hunters with 4 unrealistic exploding streetlights located around the park. And while it isn't exactly the same thing, you can also knock over this light pole in the fight against the Gravedigger worm and finish him off with the most electrifying move in Resident Evil entertainment. Looking at the previous remake, this mechanic was not found anywhere, minus shooting a pipe to blow up the alligator. Makes sense since that was also the only time it happened in the original RE2. So will RE3 Remake follow the original's path and introduce environmental objects into the remake series, or just feature the same old Resident Evil 2 Remake gameplay? We know a dodge is being added, so why not things like wall charges, falling timber, or something outside of the box? We know Nemesis is going to be tough, so it might make sense for some help, at least during boss encounters. I mean, he basically has a red barrel on his back. And you have to wonder, will we see red barrels? How about red barrels? Maybe even some red barrels? So let me know in the comments if you think we'll see shootable environmental objects in the new remake, and stay tuned to Where's Barry on YouTube and Where's Barry B on social media to find out if in April we'll be using those world famous red barrels to destroy the Nemesis monster in Resident Evil 3 Remake. Crimson Army, what do you think? Will this mechanic return, and what shootable items would you like to see in the remake? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe!